Home prices are rising, but renters are also feeling the pinch on their pocketbooks. According to local real estate expert Kelli Guidry, rent prices in New Orleans spiked 2.2% in just 1 month. And today she is joining us to explain what's going on with this housing market and what impact we are possibly going to see in the coming months. Welcome to the show, Kelli.
Thank you, Malik, for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on because, look, I am in this category like many people watching here. I want to just flat out ask you, why is rent so high in New Orleans?
It really has to do with a lack of inventory in the housing market. And so as long as we continue to have that, and it's taking buyers with less money to compete in those bidding wars and forcing them into the rental market. So between that and then just there being a lack of affordable housing is forcing people to rent. And so with that, we saw in Louisiana 20% in rental prices just from 2020. So as long as we continue to see these property values increase, we're going to continue to see those rental prices increase.
Do you feel like the pandemic and, more recently inflation, do you feel like that's having an effect on the housing prices as well? If so, how?
Absolutely. So between the pandemic and then even inflation, the pandemic caused a lot of factories to shut down. It's caused an increase in building prices as well as material and labor. And so that has also contributed to the slowdown in production. So inflation really means that your money is worth less now than what it once was, meaning that you need more of it to rent or buy a home. So as long as it stays where we continue to see a high demand of buyers in the marketplace with a shortage of inventory and that slowdown in production in building new houses, we're going to continue to see those prices increase in both the rental and housing market.
And I want to ask you, between renting and housing, which groups of people work better for that specific type? Let's start with renting. Who should rent instead of buy?
So anyone who is not familiar with the area, they're only going to be here for a temporary period of time and they know that, or they just simply don't want the upkeep of a house, then those are for sure the people who should rent, right? Anyone who is concerned about their net worth or, building that financial security, they know that they want to lay down roots. Those are the people who should consider buying.
Good to know. And I want to show everybody some numbers you provided us on the average rent price and the average mortgage price. Why is the rent more expensive?
Isn't that nuts? So we're going to continue to see that happen as long as these prices continue to increase, right? So as long as the shortage is there and the demand is high for buyers, we're going to continue to see that happen. The difference between renting and owning, though, for someone who purchases, at least they're able to lock in that fixed rate mortgage. Versus a renter, you're really at the mercy of whatever inflation and rate increases do. So at least that less than $1,300 a month for mortgage, that's locked in and nothing's going to change for you. Maybe insurance and property taxes can go up, but that is a fixed rate for that large monthly budgeted item that we all have.
And you're seeing right here on your screen some benefits of buying. Buying a home increases your net worth. It also can increase your equity as well. But I'm curious, for people who are possibly buying a home, should they also have selling on the mind as well? Because I've been hearing a lot from people, it's not a buyer's market, it's a buyer's market. No, it's not a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. Something like that. Or maybe it's the other way around.
It is the other way around.
The other way around.
We're in a seller's market right now. That's why we're seeing buyers fight over these properties whenever they hit. So having somebody who is, highly attuned to what the market is doing is really important. And that net worth is really a big part of it all as well, because a homeowner's net worth is 40 times greater than that of a renter's. And so that's a really important part of the equation for someone who wants to build that financial security.
And if you're looking to rent or buy a home in the coming months, what's one tip you can offer those people? What do they need to have in place in order to succeed at renting or buying a home?
So really partnering with an industry expert, someone who's highly trained, is going to be the best thing that a consumer can do for themselves when entering into the marketplace. And that's for a buyer or a seller, making sure that you are positioned well in the market, making sure that you have someone who can help find those hidden gems, maybe those off-market properties, because anyone who works a lot in the market and is highly trained, we always have a stack of inventory that we know is coming on market, whether or not mid-month. And we're, a lot of agents, we're working with those home sellers to position their house perfectly. So we know that something may be coming up mid-May or whatever time that may be. And then making sure to be able to help position you well and competing in those bidding wars.
Some great advice this morning, Kelli. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And hey, if you're looking for a professional, learn more about home buying options from Bayou Region Home Team, you can give her a call at 985-601-3136 or head over to her website, bayouteam.com.